Good morning, people. Hope everybody's good today. I'm going to talk about new rhetoric and new wording of how they're trying to word what's going on with the pandemic, you know, and how they're now calling the people who are unvaccinated the pandemic. Here's the problem. Even by their own definitions, it can't be a pandemic now. Even by their new ways, they rule a pandemic and their new ruling. You're going to have to reword your ruling again on what a pandemic is, government, because it don't fit anymore. Uh, just because you want to use and throw around the word pandemic don't mean it's a fucking pandemic anymore. It wasn't a pandemic to begin with. I hate to tell you. This has gotten stupid now. But here's what I see when I hear that type of rhetoric. I hear and see they're pushing hard to scare the people even more. Get this crap put in their veins. They're pushing to make it to where it's mandatory for kids to go to school now uh, in several places. Before they could even go into the school, they got to have this stupid damn shot. Uh, so on and so forth, like that. They're trying to push it to where you're going to have that key card to go to work. You're going to have a key card to go to a restaurant. You're going to have a key card to do whatever. Just that states you have had the vaccination. But here's the thing, that's against HIPAA law as well. So they're going to have to change HIPAA law. Hey, Carl, how are you, buddy? They're going to have to change the HIPAA law as well here in the United States to do that because it's against HIPAA law to ask for anything to do with the medical, and that's medical people. So right now, here's the thing: they're trying. They have once already tried to slip in, trying to change up the HIPAA law in Congress, and something that was when they were trying to do that big stimulus thing. Okay, they tried to slip it in as a little uh, uh, side thing as they try to do when things are getting passed. I'm not sure on that, Carl, but I do know by uh, I know by even your law. Hold on, you're Britain. I know in Canada, it's against their laws as well to have to dictate if you whatever you've done for your medical. Okay, I know it's wrong for that up there as well as it is down here. I don't know about Britain, and I don't know if it's against the Geneva Convention. That bears looking up. It does bear looking up. I will look it up, find out. Yeah, no, well, it gives me an idea of something else to look up. Right? That I agree, Carl. Hey, truth, the truth. These people have really gotten stupid with this. And I think they're going to be here before long, making it mandatory to go get the vaccination if you don't want the vaccination at all here in the state. Another thing that's been concerning me because I watch a lot of military stuff as well is they're talking about more movement and more deployments in the United States for no reason. Okay. Um, Here's another thing that I really noticed. Trying to right on the back of some of the biggest wildfires in the United States. And again, a lot of them are quote unquote being caused by power companies, setting them off, having sparks happening and fucking setting off the brush and things like that, quote unquote. Okay. All these electric companies are subsidized by the government, by the way. So why ain't they fixing their shit? Just saying. Why is there quote unquote spark setting off the brush? And now the air quality, even here in New York, is shitty due to the smoke in the air from all these wildfires that stretch from Canada all the way down to uh, um, the southwestern United States. That's going to cause your sinuses to have problems. It's going to cause your maybe to even get a little bit of a cough because your sinuses are draining because you're breathing in all this shit from toxic shit like melted plastic, fiberglass, everything else that's in a house, which there's been thousands of houses burn up. There's been thousands of cars burn up since all these fires started. Oh yeah, there's a lot of shit that could be going with these fires, dude. There's toxins all in the air now. I mean, toxins everywhere. And guess what? Where are the biggest concentrations? Now, think about this. Look at it. Where are the biggest concentrations of this new quote unquote Delta strain here in the United States? Right? Where the fires are, or just to the east of the fires, the states just to the east of the fire. See, there's a connection there, if you ask me. But people are so gullible, so much sheeple that they sit there and believe the bullshit rhetoric that they're trying to pin and play. They ain't talking about the toxins that are in there from everything from burn up tires from cars, thousands of cars, burn up paint, burn up fiberglass, burn up and melted metals that release toxicity into the air that have melted down, uh, so on and so forth. I mean, plastics, plastics out the ass. Uh, and I believe that's what's going on, Carl. I really do believe that's what's going on because, like I said, the majority of the major new Delta cases are right near where the fires are. And they're starting to spread east as the smoke is spreading east. Been watching that, been watching it a lot here in the United States. South America, new Delta strain happened down there, and it got worse as the fires started burning bigger in South America. They started burning off more rainforests. They're burning off more rainforests than they ever had in years. I mean, in the last since the virus came, as it came into being, quote unquote, uh, they burned off more rainforest in this last year and a half than they have in the last 5 years. So just saying. Also, you got 72 volcanoes, actually now 75, excuse me, volcanoes erupting across the world. Correct, Carl. You got 75 volcanoes uh, going off across the world from north to south. Well, guess what? That's putting ash in the air. Ash that's filled with silica and other toxic chemicals and gases along with it. Some of these volcanoes erupted just boom. No one knows why. Just a great big boom, like a 5.6 earthquake, all of a sudden, and then the volcanoes erupted. And the volcanoes showed no activity up to that point to show that they were ready to explode. A lot of them volcanoes did not even show any activity. Just all of a sudden come back to wake. Boom. 5.6 earthquake. Guess what? 3.9 earthquake fucking made fucking buildings fall in Florida. 3.9. So what's a 5.9 going to do to a volcano that has a little bit of a clog? These are things that I'm seeing. Evaporating lakes, dust, sand, salt. Amen to that, Carl. Yeah. A lot of people ain't even seeing these coincidences. I think they should be looking into these coincidences. I mean, it, it's a coincidence. Is it a coincidence that the major majority of this new quote unquote Delta strain it got here in the United States in the western part of the United States is now experiencing the most of that Delta strain, but yet there's pollutants, toxins, uh, 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 you name it, from carbon monoxide to whatever. You know, you got go set a tire on fire and breathe it. Breathe the smoke straight off of the tire. You're going to be dead in a matter of seconds. Okay, it's that toxic. Well, of course, now that it's getting into the atmosphere, it's going to break down some, so it ain't going to be near as toxic as it is concentrated straight off from the fire. But it's going to cause you problems, especially with the rest of these other elements and uh, pollutants and toxins going in the air. Correct. That's the correct statement right there, Carl. Correct statement. You explain that a hell of a lot better than I did. It's not. You're right. It's not a fluke. I think it was meant to happen, especially when you sit there and hear all these government subsidized electric companies are the ones that are setting the fires because of some spark somewhere off their shit because it's outdated. Well, they're government subsidized. They're supposed to be up to date, ain't they? Just saying. That company out west that had the problem with the electricity before, they're now being set under investigation again for starting four of the biggest fires in the west. I forget the name of it now, but it was the same electric. I remember the story saying it was the same electric company back in when the other fires started 2 years ago. Remember the name of that electric company? I mean, I'll look it up and I'll tell y'all. But they're now supposedly responsible for what's happening now. Well, they supposedly put hundreds of millions and almost billions of dollars into upgrading their shit. So that's what they show on paper. Either they didn't upgrade their shit like you're saying, or this is just a fabricated bullshit lie, and they're just an scapegoat because they were already an scapegoat. They already look bad, so we can make them look bad, worse. They go bankrupt. We give them some money, and they go play in the Caribbean for the rest of their life. Just saying. Don't think our government won't do that. They've done that before, just to try to get what they're doing. But they're also using this now as saying their new rhetoric is the new pandemic is the unvaccinated people. That's the new pandemic because the people that are supposedly filling up the hospitals again are unvaccinated, supposedly. But here's something that I found quite interesting. One hospital reported that 49% of the people that were put in there uh, that that were having problems with quote unquote Delta strain were partially vaxxed. That means half had one shot. Another another 39% that are in there had both shots, and the rest were unvaccinated. So even their rhetoric is wrong and lying. At least at that one hospital, they're the only ones that had the audacity to say anything. Well, I think that's what they're trying to work on here. The truth, um, I really do, and which is, by the way, at least here in the United States, and I know in Canada, is against HIPAA laws as we speak. But they tried to. They try. I found out later, and and this got also Marjorie Green thrown out of all of her little party affiliated groups, special groups that they have. She got thrown out all of them because she let that out that they were trying to even change the HIPAA laws here in the United States when they were trying to pass the last big stimulus thing. That's one of the reasons why the Republicans would not budge off of the fact that they did not want to let that go. Okay, go through. That was one of the things that the Democrats had to take out of their fucking thing, out of that stimulus thing for it to pass. And Marjorie Green just let that out. And then it got her, all her little subcommittee she's on, she got her thrown off of it. I guess I'll be walking around with pepper in my boots. Just saying. Well, like I said, Carl, I think I'll be putting some cayenne pepper in my boots. So as soon as they sniff me, they fucking get a snootful of cayenne pepper. Fucks up a dog's nose, just saying. I just thought these are noteworthy things that people should know about, uh, things that are, it just hit me, I've been doing, like I said, I try to do some research, overnight while I'm not sleeping, things like that. Actually, you know what? A cayenne pepper, the truth, it can fuck up a dog's nose for life. They'll never be able to smell right again. I'm get a snootful of it, see what it does to their nose. Their nose is 100,000 times more sensitive than ours. And that's why it fucks them up. I know, I know two police dogs down in Dade City that got retired because of cayenne pepper being poured in the floorboards of the car. Guy used to smoke a lot of pot, and to cover the smell. He was just trying to cover the smell of the pot. He didn't know the side effects would be fucking up a dog's nose. Uh, he was trying to cover up the smell of the pot in his car, cayenne pepper. And dogs went up there, started sniffing the car, and when they did, they got a snoot full of that cayenne pepper, and they were ruined for the rest of their lives. They retired them almost a month later off the police force. They tried to get him for assault on an officer, by the way. uh, uh, hey Lou, what's up, man? But yeah, these are things I'm realizing and all that. I know what got me to looking at that, is I've noticed a lot of people getting the sniffles around here. And then I went and realized that the National Weather Service has put a grade 2 warning. There's only one worse. That's a grade 1 warning of air quality here in New York. Okay, now in New York, we're thousands of miles away from them fires, and they're affecting us. So what's it doing to the people that are directly in the paths and things like that of them fires? Are you still at work, Lou? Yeah, it is a little early for you. I keep forgetting you're in California. Yeah, it's still only 3:30 there. Shit. That's what got me to looking at that shit and trying to figure out if there was any correlation to it. And it seems like there's a correlation, in my opinion. See, but they ain't talking about the hundreds of thousands of pounds of carbon dioxide, the hundreds of thousands of pounds, or however they measure it, pollutants being being thrown in the air by burn up cars alone. That ain't counting the houses that burn up. That's just the hundreds of thousands of cars alone, with 4 tires per car. Most of them are now built out of fiberglass. Most of them have rubber hoses on them. Most of them have coated wire that when you burn it, it is a toxin. Uh, I mean, I mean, these people, and there's thousands of these cars that burn up, thousands of houses with paint. Well, the cars also with the paint, the fucking foam, the you know, you name it with a car alone. You know, there's insulation in a car. There's plastics all in the car, things like that. How many thousands of pounds and things like that of pollutants went in the air just from the car? Then let's talk about a house. The houses have pressure treated wood, which has copper copper sulfate in the in the wood to keep it from to help pressure treat it and help it keep from rotting. That's why there's little green streaks through the wood. Well, you now got copper sulfate. That's deadly, very deadly. Yeah, cyanide. I mean, you name it. Paint fumes, freaking fiberglass fumes, fiberglass. How many tons of fiberglass has been put into the air that broke free? That was house insulation. How many of those little fibers are now floating through the air? How many pounds of that is floating through the air? I can't find no reports on this shit. And you don't hear the fucking news talking about it either. But you know, when I was working as a volunteer fireman, one of the things that they made us wear our fucking masks for, uh, especially in a newer house, was not only the toxins, but they said one of the biggest problems is the fiberglass because all them little fibers, when they get hot, they break free from their little coatings that keep them tightly meshed, and now they're free to float through the air. Fiberglass in your fucking lungs sucks, people. Just saying. Yeah, asbestos. That ain't so much here in the United States no more, but there are still some houses that have asbestos. Yes. Um. So, hey, Swammy, what's up, buddy? Um. The stuff is there's so many toxins out there that it ain't even funny. We ain't even got into the metals that are burning and melting that are releasing toxins as well. That have been known to release toxins and shit like that as well. We're just talking about normal everyday shit. Paint that puts off toxic latex paint, and water-based soluble paints still have toxins in it when it burns. All the couches, all the fucking chairs. That's not counting all the wood that's burning up and putting carbon dioxide in the air. Excuse me, not monoxide, but dioxide. None of this is good for you people. And then when you look at the new Delta and how it's coming into the United States, it's all states that are burning or that are to the east of the burn. So, hey, Salty, what's up?
Man, I'll tell you what, I had 2 orders of the same kind of Mexican food tonight so I could snack. I went in the bathroom a little while ago and I let out some of my toxins, and it was rough even for me. My eyes were watering up, had the exhaust
And,
fan on, I was pitched forward.
and now you got
I'm chewing
Salty on
tobacco out on
top
the
of
floor.
it. And now you got
Yeah,
Salty
yeah.
on top of it, letting out his bodily toxins. I mean, come on. That right
Oh
there
my
is enough
God,
to
dude.
kill a person. That right there's
Man,
enough to kill a person.
I thought, I was sitting in my car on the phone with the wife. And of course, I have good acoustics in my car.
Correct, the truth.
I let one rip. I tried to lean over and do one cheek snap. Holy shit, you all right? Like, yeah, why? The fucking house started shaking over. I'm like, shut up. That sounded like a big fucking fart. I said, well, it was. I was very, very generous to myself holding on to the syringe because I didn't want to crap my pants, which I didn't. But even if I didn't know, because that's why I wear black underwear to work. Can't see the shit stains. Anyway, let me not digress. So, the big old fart, and then at the end, put, and I call it an exclamation point. And boy, oh boy, I can't wait to see the wife today. Last night, I came home, she ripped the fart, and I'm like, fuck. I said, I didn't know we got a horse. She punched. What do you mean? I said, that was a giant horse. Where's the horse? Oh, the horse in my bed. She wasn't too happy about that.
But truth, you bring up a good point. Let's talk. Yeah, toxins that are in household goods, man. Jesus, from aerosols to you name it. I mean, hell, some of the goods that are sold to us have helium in it. You name it. Then you got all the chemical processing shit that goes through it. You know, it's insane the pollutants that are being put into the air. And then all of a sudden, this new Delta gets here, and it's all right. All the big hike in numbers started right there where these big fires are.
Mm-hmm.
Chlorine, ammonia,
Excuse me.
yeah, all sorts of shit, man, Carl. It's very bad. And then let's say they melt down the bottle. They melt down the bottle, and then some of them chemicals mix together. That can make its own fucking gas. That's just as bad and a killer in its own right.
Yeah.
I mean, so I'm looking and I see this new Delta strain, and where all the big major hikes are, and then the numbers are going up as the smoke starts pushing east on the wind and causing air quality to drop in all these states as it's going along. Their numbers start going up as well. Just saying. And the numbers ain't even matching up on the hospital from what they're saying. So they're claiming a falsity of it just being they're trying to now push it's just unvaccinated people that are going to the hospital. That's a lie. That is straight up a ball-faced lie.
A lot of vaccinated people are going to the hospital, and they're wondering why.
Well, that's what we were just talking about, Salty. I
don't go to
you got these fires that are burning all through the West, okay? They have got to the point they have dropped our air quality here in New York. Thousands of miles away, there was a class 2 warning on air quality, which you can only get one worse, and that's a class 1 air quality warning due to the wildfires that are burning out west and the winds pushing their shit toward us. Now, what's all in that? That's the point I was trying to make. You got all these toxins, just the thousands of cars alone. They got 4 tires. They got bodies made of fiberglass, hoses made of rubber, fucking wire that's coated with a toxic substance when it burns, plastics, styrofoams, all of this shit in the car alone. And there's been thousands of them burnt. Then you got houses. Think of all the shit that's in a house that just releases toxins when it burns. The number of the number of the supposed Delta variant started going really high after these fires really started hitting their max peak. Okay, and they started out west. As the wind blows all these toxins and all this carbon dioxide and all this shit that's being put in the air eastward, the air quality's dropping for each state. And as their air quality drops, their numbers of the Delta variant are going up. Coincident, maybe a fluke? No. I think this was intentional to try to push off something, and they're in the process now of trying to make it to where they're gonna try to make it to where everybody's mandatory to take it, because now they're calling the unvaccinated people the new pandemic. Not the vaccinated people, the unvaccinated people, the new pandemic. So I think we're on the way to possibly them trying to force mandatory vaccination. Trying, keyword.
Yep. You can inject me when I give you my fucking arm. But attached to my arm is my hand and my finger raised in triumph.
Well, when they give me the vac, will be when they'll be giving it to a dead man. That's how they're going to give me the vaccine, when I'm dead and gone. That means I have to go somewhere and hide on a fucking island somewhere, or fucking something like that. Never be seen again. That's what that means.
I'll go as long as I can bring all my knives.
That's just the way it's going to be. I will be dead in some way, fashion, or form before they get that. Just
Uh-huh.
holy shit. You will not believe what I just seen run past my window. I'm in the middle of the city, right? I'm in the middle of the city, right?
Yeah.
And I'm talking a big city, over 370,000 people here, right? I just watched a deer run through my yard, jump the fence, and then go into the next yard and take off running. A deer.
Maybe he's being chased by Dogman.
I about shit seeing that deer here in the middle of a city of 370,000 people. They always say that we do have the river, though, that's like about 5 blocks away, and it's pretty well overgrown. And a lot of people say they see deer down there a lot. So maybe that might have been one of them that just got screwed up or something. I don't know, but that's still quite a long ways away from where they normally hang out, if that's the case down there on that river. I just thought it was interesting. Right. I thought it'd be interesting for y'all.
Did you hear that?
I didn't intend to stay on. Yeah, I did. I didn't intend to stay on
more
long.
Toxins out.
Yeah, I heard that.
Well,
I didn't.
You're here. Hey, did you follow?
Follow what?
I know you didn't intend to stay on Minnesota Guardian.
Every once in a while, I look over at his stuff. What's going on with him?
He recently got arrested and charged with several crimes.
Well, he pushes the envelope a lot when it comes to auditing. I know that. He's young, very young, and he got really pushing
crimes. He got charged with some, apparently, according to the news article that I'd watched. Of course, this was on Big D's channel, and then he pulled it down, put it on private. He supposedly got arrested for lewd in the sex with a woman that was apparently having a mental issue, and he did something where himself and then asked her for sex. I guess she said no. Then he offered to pay. So he kicked her out of her car and then tased her not once but twice. She got his
I'd have to see that.
plate number and reported him, and he got arrested.
I know. I do know he.
Well,
All I know is the cops don't like him because he does push the envelope with auditing, and has pushed the envelope
oh yeah,
with auditing. Um,
oh
I
yeah.
would have to. I'd have to look into that and see what that's about. See what's going on with that. I've not
Did
heard
you
anything
ever
about
get
it.
that? Did you ever get that card that you were going to get today? You had to walk the store in the morning. Did you ever do that?
No, it's too early. Stores don't open up till 8 o'clock around here.
Uh, no. Did you do it yesterday when you were going to get up, go to the store, or whatever?
Nope, because I didn't get up until 7 o'clock in the evening.
I know how that is. I got a bunch of stuff to do. I'm going to try to go live tomorrow. I did a remake of your live panel where you told me I could use that snippet.
Yep.
And it came out to be in about 23 minutes long. I have it scheduled 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, California time. It's a 23-minute long. You guys can comment in the live chat. As far as the video goes, I'm turning off all the comments because I don't always monitor everything on the Lucify. And I don't want some troll slipping in a website for a sex site or something, you know?
Right. That's probably the smartest thing to do. Man.
So now when I make videos, I turn off the comments. Turn off the comments, nobody can comment. I know people are mad, but I'm sure that when they see this video, but you know, it's not even so much tit for tat at this point. It's just in their own words. And in my opinion, a lot of venom. But, you know, they're making videos about me using my words against me. So I thought maybe I'd just pay them back a little bit.
That's up to you, man.
You know, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, I guess. I'll tell you what, when you see them, there's not one single swear word in it. And I call it their actual God-given government name. You know what I use for a title?
Yeah, I didn't. And here you. Huh?
It swam in. Yep, even some of the household goods we use every day. Chemicals on.
It's bad. Yeah, there's a bunch of bad shit in the air right now, and people are. Then they're trying to blame it all on this Delta variant.
Yeah, of the COVID virus, but that's work. You know, I have a hard time breathing because of my allergies.
Same here.
Now the biggest thing where I live is the biggest thing where I live is now I'm not vaccinated. I must wear a mask everywhere I go. I'm like, why?
They can't ask you if you're vaccinated or not, at least at this point. So fucking go without it anyway. wouldn't listen to that shit. Go without it anyway. Fuck them. What are they gonna do? What's the worst they can do? Throw you out of their establishment because you didn't tell them if you had a vaccination or not? Well, I wouldn't want to go to an establishment and spend money there anyway if that's what they are willing to do. Try to steal my right and my rights away from me. I don't want to. I don't want to give money to that. You know, just saying. Laws against them asking you if you've had the vaccination or not. And see, that's one thing I could say about Rochester here. I've been going without my mask now that the mask mandate's been lifted. No one, no one has ever asked if I've had the vaccination or not. Ever.
Well, when they ask me,
and I appreciate
when they
that.
ask me, I'll be like, when somebody comes up to ask me, hey, do you got a vaccination? I'm like, hey, brother, get a rabies shot yet? Or I might do this. Oh. Smells like a dirty ass. Damn it, I'm gonna have to open the door now. Hope my wife doesn't push too hard on my stomach this morning. She's gonna get a surprise.
On that note, guys, I'm going to go ahead and bail on out of here now. And I will talk to y'all later. And like I said, I didn't plan on staying on long to this one. All right, I will. I didn't plan on staying long. I just wanted to bring some of that shit that I researched and been looking at and shit like that to y'all, and think y'all should maybe even look into it yourself. You know what I mean? Look into that shit yourself, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But on that note, guys, you all try to have a good rest of your day, good rest of your night, good rest of your morning, good evening, afternoon, whichever the case may be. And I am out.